Good morning, Honorable Premier. Good morning. Virgin Islands News Online, Ruben Stobie. Matt Corman, the administrator of the U.S. Small Business Administration's Atlantic region, told reporters in the USVI recently that the Trump administration had sent a formal diplomatic complaint to the VI officials about the Commercial Recreational Vessels Licensing Act. Has your government received that official complaint, and have you responded?
Thank you for that question. Governor of the Virgin Islands, Mr. Daniel Cruz, did bring to my attention that through I believe it would have been the U.S. Embassy in the United Kingdom government, that they've received formal correspondence on the matter between the United States Virgin Islands and the British Virgin Islands. The question was whether we would be engaging with the United States Virgin Islands further on the matter, because the United Kingdom government recognizes that this is an area that's been devolved to the government of the Virgin Islands, and I believe would prefer for it to be handled on the level of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Virgin Islands. But they remain, I guess, aware of the situation, and the governor and I remain in dialogue about the situation in United States Virgin Islands and the Virgin Islands. But important to note, we will be engaging. We've had some informal engagements with the government over there, and we are looking to have a more formal engagement in the near future. In fact, I'll be writing to Governor Bryan shortly.
Okay, because he did say he was hoping to have a meeting for this month. Will there be any meeting this month?
I think we've been trying to get a time for a meeting, a proper date for a meeting that's acceptable to both of us.
The main issue with the USVI seems to be that the USVI-based yachts are paying $24,000 a season to enter VI waters, while VI-based charter yachts are paying $4,000. You said the fee structure wasn't addressed for like 3 decades. But do you think the $24,000 fee is negotiable?
Well, we've been negotiating over a number of years, I would say, starting in 2022. Of course, I have the Deputy Financial Secretary here. He has the exact dates and times when we first started speaking about this issue. But this is not a new issue. We've been speaking over it for a number of years. Let me remind persons that this legislation was enacted in 1992. And the late, great Lavity Stout, whom we will commemorate and celebrate on Monday, he's the one that passed that piece of legislation. And since he did that legislation, no changes were ever made to that piece of legislation. And so the changes we have made are in recognition of the fact that inflation over time, of course, the increased expense of being able to administer the services to the marine community, the fact that our waters, those are our natural resources, and this is the way that we will have to build our schools and build our roads and finance our healthcare institutions. So we believe what we have put forward after a series of negotiations over years is fair. And actually the words of Governor Bryan, after we came to our final settlement, acknowledged our right to be able to regulate our own waters and price entry into our own waters or for the licenses that we issue. I would remind you as well, 24,000 is just the unlimited entry into the Virgin Islands. There are options that for licenses for foreign-based commercial recreational vessel licenses from about $8,500. I think it's $7,500, somewhere around there. And then each entry after that, you can pay a sum of money. I think the 8,500 for the day trippers. We originally had that at 12,500. We gave that a discount. But I also want to say, Brother Stobie, that we have a different fee structure from the United States Virgin Islands. Okay, they have income taxes. They have corporate taxes. You know, they have something called gross receipts. So they're gonna make something off of every business registered in the Virgin Islands, all of their activity. We have a different fee structure. We don't have those corporate taxes. We don't have income taxes. So we're gonna have to make something from the activity in that sphere from the fees that we collect. So it might seem like it's a lot of money, but when you have, in some instances, one charter being $100,000, for instance, and that vessel is registered in the United States Virgin Islands, they're going to be getting a portion of the gross receipts of that particular commercial transaction. And they have a economic structure that is able to finance their government. Plus, I would say, they receive millions of dollars, it might even be more than millions, from the federal government of the United States every year to fund their budget. We don't receive anything from the United Kingdom government, and we have not received anything from the United Kingdom government since the late 1970s. So we need to put an economic structure in place that's going to support our society. And my first obligation and responsibility is to the people of the Virgin Islands, though we value the friendship and the partnership we've had with the United States Virgin Islands over many years.
Are you surprised that the governor then went to Washington to get the federal government involved?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, and of course, you know, in politics sometimes you express things in a particular way, but I have to be very honest with you. I was displeased. I was displeased with the governor escalating this to the federal government because we are friends. We celebrate that friendship every year, and in my view, we should continue to dialogue. If there are any challenges, we get together and we try to work those challenges out.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.